OVO Entertainment. We have Juno award-winning artist Drew Grange. The last time we spoke with you was at T-Dot Fest. You were the headliner.
Yes, it's your boy Drew. We here at T-Dot Fest in the 6th. I'm about to go on about a half hour.
Could you tell us how it was performing at Ontario Place?
No, yeah, it was good. That was a couple years back now. I think that
Yeah,
was
yeah, it
just
was.
before COVID, I think.
Yeah, just before the COVID broke out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a good show, man. Like I always love supporting T Dot Fest. I was there when they were at Dundas Square also.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, no, it's always a good event, man. So I love to support, Toronto and get involved in those types of events. So no, it was definitely good.
yeah. I seen you at another historic event, the OVO Fest, when Drake brought back all the artists that made an impact in the city. How was that?
Yeah, that was crazy. Wow, that was very unexpected to tell you the truth. He gave us about 7 days or 8 days to prepare. And
Wow.
one of the members of my group, in essence, was all the way in Dubai. And those times flights were hard.
Yeah,
It was like really hard to travel then. So to get him back here in time, and it had been 16 years since, in essence, had sang
yeah,
together.
yeah. It was a
So
big
it took
reunion.
Yeah, we had to kind of get the cobwebs off a little bit and like get through the dance rehearsals and get everything prepared quickly. But we knew if Drizzy's asking us to come out, we got to come out and do it properly. So we were honored that he gave us our flowers, so to speak, and
And that was,
all the other artists that were there. It was just nice to kind of reunite with everyone. Big up the Socrates, Maestro,
yes.
the Rascals, Julie Black, the list goes on. It was nice to just come back and, chaos. It was nice to be around my peers again from those eras.
That was a nice surprise for everybody. Same
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was a crazy night, amazing night.
So did you catch the Super Bowl yesterday and the performance?
I caught the performance. I can't say I caught the show because I was in rehearsals, so I was back and forth I wanted to make sure I caught the show because I'm a huge Usher fan. Yeah, I think he definitely did his thing, man. I love that era of R&B was showcased on the biggest world stage. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it was a good look for R&B, real R&B heads. I think
yeah,
Usher really represented, and yeah, he put on a stellar show as usual.
as expected, yeah.
Yeah, man.
So Usher does a residency in Las Vegas, and you're bringing that type of event to your city. Could you tell us
Yes.
what came about?
It was just really number one, like myself and my fiance, we always talked about saying, I wish there was something in the city, that we could get dressed up and, have a nice dinner, but still be able to catch an authentic, soul R&B show with choreography, live band, and, we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it anywhere. And
Yeah,
then with all the residencies popping up in Vegas from, like you mentioned, Usher, then the New Edition residency that's happening,
yeah,
I really feel like there's really a focus on these eras from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, those eras of R&B. So it's like I'm thinking, well, for the people that don't want to book a flight, book hotel, pay for the tickets to go to Vegas, why not give them the option to have it right here in Toronto with the same sophistication, the same authentic quality of R&B and soul music, but it's right here in our city. So
yeah,
I created Soul Nostalgic, and with some changes. Like at first it was going to be more of like a tribute type of show where we fully dressed in the outfits like from BBD, and we were gonna do the whole. We may do it later, but after thinking about it, I'm like, you know what? No, I want to keep this a Vegas style dining and show experience, and Vegas is always linked to well dressed, even from back in the days in the 70s, 80s, they're always well dressed in tuxedos, black and white tuxedos. So
Yeah,
that's how the look has changed.
that's one thing my dad always talks about. He says, because his brother used to sing R&B, and he
Hmm.
would take the comparison and said, rappers don't dress in suits. They don't work for their audience,
Yeah,
well dressed and everything. I told him no, but that's the appeal. Because he came up
yeah,
with Motown, with Commodores,
yes.
like that. So I see the difference why he says what he says, but
Yeah, man. I think, and not just that. There's been a lot of tribute shows like with like Tina Turner and Rod Stewart, and
yeah,
even like further back like the Temptations. And I feel like there's a new kind of era now of what is old school, and old school is now my era. You know what I mean? What I came up
yeah,
on, which is New Edition, Bobby Brown, BBD, Tony, of course, Usher, Neo, Mario, but even further back, like Luther Vandross, so that's what I'm bringing is those types of artists that you haven't maybe really heard in this way, in
yeah.
like covers wise, like I've never heard anyone do Tony feels good,
Yeah, I love
cover.
that song too.
Right? I've never seen it. So, and it was such a smash. It was such a big hit. And as soon as people hear it, the nostalgic vibe of that just comes rushing back.
Yeah,
So that's kind of why I put it together like this, but with the sophistication of the tuxedos and, more of a high class type of event, for our people though, for our era. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. So you love to perform, obviously. I know there's a story of your first live performance. Could you tell us about it?
Oh my gosh. Yes. I was in the seventh or eighth grade, and I
Yeah,
was doing a talent show performance. Me and two other guys, big up to Maurizio, Ron Moffitt, and Felipe. And we were doing Can You Stand the Rain, New Edition.
yeah,
And I had to come on, so I had to walk on for my part. So they did the first verse, and I had to come on to the Ralph Tresvant part. The cause I need somebody who will stand by me through
yeah,
the good times. But I had to walk on singing that first performance ever, the shyest kid you'll ever meet. So my face is shaking, my legs were shaking, trembling. But as soon as I got through the first couple lines, and the audience went nuts, and it kind of calmed me down. It's like, oh, okay, maybe I can actually do this. So coming from being a really shy kid, that was a big hurdle, to get through. But I'm glad I did it.
yeah. Made it see that you could do it.
Yeah, man.
So I see you're dedicated to the R&B soul style of music that was like
Yes.
60s to early 2000s. What would you say is the difference between the eras before the new millennium and
Hmm. Well, before the new millennium, I would say there was a lot more. It was a lot more strict when it came to making sure you're singing on key and you're singing live, and there wasn't as much lip syncing in live shows, or
yeah,
the whole auto tune discussion, came up in the 2000s, big up to T-Pain, and so that I think that's the difference is there was more pressure on your vocal ability from
yeah,
before. And as we come more to the modern day, that kind of diminished a little bit because of auto tune, and a lot more artists started becoming singers that maybe weren't really vocalists,
yeah,
before. Like I feel like there's singers now, people that call themselves singers right now aren't necessarily vocalists. You know what I'm saying? They're singing, but
yeah.
they're singing to
I say the same thing sometimes when they say certain people are singers, but then I'm like, to me, like singers is like KC and
yes.
And there's, I'm like, but I guess it's what you just said. It's like it's not vocalists.
Yeah, they're singers. You know,
That's
they're
yeah.
like,
That's
so
yeah.
even if they're singing into the auto tune, they're still singing, but you know, the auto
Yeah,
tune is fixing whatever needs to be fixed.
yeah,
So
I
it kind
totally
of,
get what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, you know, it kind of changes the you know, just the level of vocal ability that you have to have nowadays.
Okay. So your residency is gonna be live singing straight.
Live singing, brother, live singing, live music, live dancing. You know, it's going to be an immersive experience. So we're not just on the stage. We're going to come down in your face. We're going to be dancing with the audience. We're going to have the horn player blowing horns in your face, guitar player coming off, electric guitar. You know, the way Aqua Supper Club is set up, there's like a big risen, I guess the word is risen, risen runway that goes through the whole restaurant.
Uh,
So so we're able to come off the stage and now go onto the riser and actually come out to the people. You know, we can like we're coming down onto the floor and doing
yeah,
choreography on the floor in their face. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be an immersive experience. So yeah, when they leave there, they're going to be humming and tapping their foot to these songs that they used to
yeah,
love, and it's going to be we really want people to walk away feeling like they had an experience and it wasn't just a dinner and a show. It was more of a immersive thing. You know, I want, you know,
remember.
some of the women to be like, yo, that dancer was like right in front of me. You know, this dancer, you know, maybe made me stand up and spun me around and give them that more, that, you know, that more immersive feel.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of upcoming artists, someone coming into the game, what advice would you give them about being in the business and working on their craft?
Man, that if you ask me this 10 years ago compared to now, the answer is completely different.
Yeah.
So, you know, because now I would say as much as you need to put music out and get your streams up, um, you need to find other avenues than just streaming, because
Yeah.
we all know streaming doesn't make much money. Like they've brought us back, that feels like to
Yeah.
the 1920s and 30s. You know,
Yeah.
it's like artists are fighting to find ways to make money off their craft now, because a million streams doesn't mean much, you know?
Mm.
So you have to find other ways, which is another reason why I created this residency, because I had to take a step back from the music industry and say, okay, what can we do now to make sure there's other streams of income more than just streaming your music? You know, so I would say branch out and find other streams of income that you can make from still doing your craft. So if that means you got to go sing covers, you know, and you know, within those covers, you got to put in a couple of your originals to kind of start to build that audience from scratch. You
Yeah.
know, it's hard for new artists right now. It's very difficult. So I would say that would be my advice. Find other streams of income that you can bring in, whether it's you're doing music for TV shows, you're making music for
Yeah.
movies, you know, you're doing a residency here, you're doing vocal coaching for someone else, you're doing stage coaching for another artist, which I also do. So it's just finding other streams of income within your passion.
Yeah. Okay. That's so what could we expect with the playlists at the event?
Woo! Brother, I took my time to really curate a list of
Yeah.
songs that, you know, sometimes when you're like, you know, you may be in a party and the DJ spins a record that you forgot how much you loved back in
Yes.
the day, and it just hits you like, "Ooh, I used to love this record."
Yeah.
Those are the types of songs that are in my playlist. Like I said, it stems from the '70s all the way to the early 2000s.
That's a
Um,
big range. So
yeah, it's a, well, I mean, I'm doing 19 songs.
19.
The
So
show has 19 songs. So, you know, it's basically two 40-minute sets.
yeah.
So it's not just a little show. This is a full show As we go on with the later dates, we'll be bringing in featured guests
Yeah,
from week to week, which will be Toronto artists. Like we're going to start with Toronto artists, obviously, but we're
yeah,
going to be branching out to U.S. artists that come through the city that are going to be doing a concert, and they may want to dip out and be like, "Yo, I want to go hit up Soul Nostalgic and do a one song or whatever."
yeah,
That's what we want to build it to, so that even when artists come from other cities and other countries, they know they got to hit up Soul Nostalgic on that Thursday night. So. But we definitely want to, make sure it's a full show. Like I said, I'm doing 19 songs. I'm dancing for about 7 out of those 19. I'm dancing more than I've ever danced before.
yeah,
Big up to Mark Samuels, my choreographer, and my two dancers, Trey and Mars are going to be dancing with me. And like I
yeah,
said, man, we're going to be tuxedoed out, the whole band. Everyone's in black tuxedos. And yeah, man, the show is going to be something to look forward to. So people, if you're on the fence, get your tickets and come out, because you got to take your lady somewhere for Valentine's weekend. Ladies,
yeah,
you got to take your man somewhere. If you want something new, you want something different from just the regular club experience or the regular dinner experience. You want
yeah.
something new and fresh. Come out to Aqua Supper Club to check out Soul Nostalgic.
Okay. So any lasting words that you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, man. Just like I said, we're gonna be at Aqua Supper Club. It's on the exhibition grounds, free parking. You know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about coming downtown and worrying about parking. It's gonna be an amazing show. I'll have some surprises in the show also, and I'm gonna be on breakfast television actually tomorrow morning to promote. So Valentine's morning we'll be on breakfast television, the whole band, the whole crew, giving everyone a little taste of what they'll be able to see starting February 15th. So Aqua Supper Club, February 15th. Come out, don't miss it. You'll be the one that'll be upset that you missed it.
Yeah. So everyone just go check it out. That's watch
Yes,
it.
sir.
All
Yes,
right.
and follow me at Drew Grange, DRUGRANGE.
Okay. And that's how they could find your music too online.
Yes. Yeah, you can just search me DRU on Spotify.
Okay.
And if you want to book Soul Nostalgic, just hit me up at soulnostalgicevents@gmail.com.